Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Today's topic is devotees and non-devotees from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We'll start with prayer. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshur Anmalitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna.
Is it in presentation mode?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Today's topic is devotees and non-devotees. The discussion of our today's topic is summarized from the following chapters and verses of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 3, verse 13, uh, theme is devotees get freed from all sins because they eat food which is first offered in sacrifice and thus they experience real peace and happiness. Chapter 7, 15 and 16 verses, the impious never surrender, pious do. And 9th chapter, 11th verse, fools think of Krishna's form as ordinary human and do not consider Aishwarya Dhyana of text 9.4 to 9.10. Chapter 9, 12th verse is fate of those who out of bewilderment disrespect Krishna's form. Chapter 9, 13 and 14 verse. Mahatmas, those who do accept Krishna as he revealed himself. Chapter 9, verse 29. But Krishna is not partial. He is equal to everyone. He envies no one. Chapter 16, 13 to 15 verse. Demoniac mentality. Chapter 16 and 19 verse. Fate of demoniac. Chapter 16, 23 and 24 verse. Escaping to the supreme destination and getting free from demoniac qualities. Now coming to the slide, which brings us to the shloka of Bhagavad Gita 3.13. यज्ञाशिष्टासिना संतो मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल विषये भुञ्जते ते अगम पाप ये पचन्त्यात्म कारणात्, which means the devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food from which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. Devotees are called santas and are always in love with Lord. They perform yajnas, different varieties of devotional service as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. They get free from all sins because they eat food which is offered in sacrifice. So they experience real peace and happiness. Non-devotees who eat food for personal sense enjoyment eat only sin and they are not happy. Bhagavad Gita 7.15 says, Na mam duskriti no mudha prapadyante naradhama maya paharta dhyana asurim bhavamashrita. Meaning, those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. These are non-devotees or dushkrutinas, who are considered to be miscreants, atheists, impious. Those who do not know how material energy works, those who do know the plan of the Supreme Lord, whose intelligence and efforts are misdirected. All these types of people do not surrender to Lord. Next sloka Bhagavad Gita 7.16 is चतुर्विधा भजन्ते मां जना सुकृतिनो अर्जुना अर्था जिज्ञासुरर्थार्थी ज्ञानी च भरतर्षभा, which translates to, O best among the Bharatas, four kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. These are Sukritinas, who are next better on the ladder and who are pious people. They are more or less devoted to the Supreme Lord, those who follow moral and social laws, adherent of the regulative principles of the scriptures, surrender to the Lord. These four classes of people surrender to Lord for material gain, for their material gain. For ready reference, the two kinds of people mentioned in the previous slides are tabulated below. Four kinds of Duskritinas and Sukritinas. Duskritinas, they are Mudhas, Naradhamas, Mayapaharta Jnana, Asuram Bhavam Ashrita. Mudas, grossly foolish people, work very hard, fruity workers who want to enjoy the fruits of the labor themselves and do not want to part them with the Supreme. Spend sleepless nights, no time for food, suffer from all kinds of health issues. Naradhamas, they are lowest of mankind, socially and politically developed but have no religious principles. Mayapaharta Jnana, deluded speculators, range of their knowledge is only devoted to material world. They are mostly very learned. Example, philosophers, literacy, poets, etc. But are mostly misguided and they disobey the Lord. Asuram Bhavam Ashritaha, envious towards God. Professed atheists, those of demonic principles. These four categories of people never surrender unto lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, in spite of all scriptural and authoritative advice. Now, Sukritinas are Artha, distressed. Example, elephant, Gajendra, elephant. Artharthi, wealth seeker. They need more money or land or anything. So, example, Dhruva Maharaj, who wanted bigger land than his father. Jijnasu, inquisitive. Example, Parikshit Maharaj. Jnani, one who desires knowledge of absolute truth. The four Kumaras. Example. These four kinds of people are pious, but they are not pure devotees because they have some aspiration to fulfill in exchange for devotional service. That brings us to the question then, what is pure devotional service? But before that, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11 defines pure devotion. Anyavilasita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama, which means for pure devotional service, one should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of all senses. When we do this, there are two side effects. Of course, they are in good sense. First is one is freed from all material designations, and other is one's senses are purified simply by being employed in the service of Lord. Which brings to another important question: can Sukritinas and Duskritinas become pure devotees? This is answered in Bhagavad Gita 7.16. As Sukritinas can become pure devotees, when they are free from all material desires, and when they fully understand that material remuneration has nothing to do with spiritual improvement. Hope for Dushkritinas. For them, devotional service is very difficult because their lives are selfish, irregular, and without spiritual goal. For them, only hope is if by chance they come in contact with the pure devotee, they also become pure devotees. We shall now understand one more term used for pretenders of Krishna consciousness, namely Duratmas. Bhagavad Gita 9.12 given, devotees who assume themselves to be in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, but at heart do not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, as the absolute truth. Those engaged in fruitive pious activities and ultimately hoping to be liberated, but they mock Krishna and deride Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Category of people who, out of bewilderment, disrespect Krishna's form. They take shelter of the material energy and are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. They think Krishna's form is ordinary and are defeated in their endeavor. They never surrender to Krishna. What fate do the Duratmas face? This is explained in Bhagavad Gita 9.12, which says, those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activity, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. What is their destiny then? They will never taste the fruit of devotional service and go back to Godhead. Birth after birth gets species of demoniac life. Real knowledge remains under delusion, gradually regress to darkest region of creation. Now we go to the highest form of devotees, namely Mahatmas, which is explained in Bhagavad Gita 9.13 shloka. Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakritim ashritaha bhajantyananyamanaso jnatva bhutadim avyayam. Mahatma is already situated in the protection of divine nature by surrendering unto Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are not under the control of material nature. He is under the guidance of spiritual nature called Devi Prakriti. Does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna, always engaged in chanting the glories of the Lord. He engages all activities, mental, bodily, and vocal, and everything in the service to Lord, determined to achieve Lord's association in one of five rasas. Shantarasa, it is reverence, Dasya rasa, loving service, Sakhya rasa, friendship, Vatsalya rasa, parental affection, and Madhurya rasa, conjugal or intimate affection. They engages in determined activities like fasting on Ekadashi and on appearance day of the Lord. Krishna is not partial to any class of people mentioned in previous slides. He is equal to everyone. He envies no one. Bhagavad Gita 9.29 says, I envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever surrenders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. This is also supported in Shloka, Bhagavad Gita 4.11. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tatheva bhajamyaham, which means, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Krishna supplies everyone with generous supply of all necessities. Like the cloud pours water all over the earth, rock, land, and water. As devotees are always in Krishna consciousness, they are transcendentally situated in Krishna. Lord says, Maite, they are in me. Naturally, Lord is also in them reciprocally. This transcendental reciprocation exists because the Lord and his devotees are conscious. It belongs to transcendental situation in which Lord and his devotees function. Devotional service is not an activity of material world, but a part of the spiritual world where eternity, bliss and knowledge predominate. Which brings us to the class of people who have demoniac mentality. Bhagavad Gita 16.13 to 15 says, demoniac mentality people, after they acquire wealth by illegal means, are deluded by ignorance. They think, I am the Lord of everything. I am enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There are none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity and I shall rejoice. All this indicates false ego, which connects spirit to matter. What is the fate of demoniac then? Bhagavad Gita 16.19 says, this verse is Krishna's reciprocation with demoniac. It clearly indicates that placing of particular soul in a particular body is the prerogative of the supreme will. Nothing is accidental. Demoniac may not agree to accept the supremacy of the Lord, but his next birth anyways depends upon the decision of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Due to lack of knowledge, does not know that all is arranged by superior power. Nothing is accidental. They are perpetually put into the womb of demons. They continue to be envious, the lowest of mankind. They are always full of lust, always violent and hateful, and always unclean. Now, importance of scriptural injunction. Bhagavad Gita 16.23 to 24. To control and regulate the demonic qualities, one must follow the Shastra Vidhi, the direction of the scriptures. Everyone is expected to follow this. If one disregards scriptural injunction and acts according to his own whims, there is neither perfection nor happiness nor supreme destination. Purpose of scriptural rules is for gradual elevation to higher perfectional stage of devotional service. Apply the knowledge, know the tattva of the Lord, serve the Lord. Rules and regulations are meant to purify one's existence and to attain the real stage of happiness. Now Krishna and engage in devotional service. Know Krishna and engage in devotional service. One who is directly engaged in all devotional activities is understood to have studied all Vedic literature. One can elevate to higher stage by guidance of proper and bona fide spiritual master. Now conclusion is, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made this process very easy. Simply chant Hare Krishna and engage in devotional service. Eat the remnants of the food. Eat the remnants of the Lord. Sorry. This Sankirtana Yajna, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the best and most inexpensive sacrifice. Everyone can adopt it and derive benefit. This will bring peace and happiness in the world. So chant and be happy. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. This ends my presentation.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice presentation, Mataji. Good effort on the presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhuji, do you have anything to say? He is in. Yes, Mataji. So, we'll just stop this recording.